Hi everyone, GX here. In a couple of seconds, I'll throw you into the show's intro, but I wanted to give you a warning. Knuckles briefly discusses some late-game plot spoilers of Dispatch. If you don't want any spoilers, you can use the episode chapters or skip ahead to the 6-minute mark. Otherwise, enjoy.
I'm not appearing offline, I'm appearing invisible, I guess? Oh, which is
Okay.
appearing offline.
Sure.
Oh, actually,
There we go.
I've been set for do not disturb for probably months now.
Okay. See what I deal with, people? You see what I deal with?
Hey, you don't have those communication issues with me, so you don't have to get all snippy.
I have other communications issues with you, my dude.
Yeah, sure, but it's not those kinds. It's not the kind of communication issues to be solved with a Discord status change.
You're using our shared DM as a paste bin.
Hello and welcome to Sonic Talk, episode 141. I am your host, Knuckles87, and with me today is Shigs.
I finally got me an Astrobot controller.
Was that a long-standing goal of yours?
Well, it's something I've been looking for a while.
Okay, well, anyway, also, we have GX here with his technical
I finally
know-how.
got me a basement heater.
Oh, neat! He got
I don't have to be cold while I'm recording.
he got a controller. You got heat for your frail human body. And what did I get? Oh yeah. I got
A fat lip.
no, not that. I've never been punched. What oh yeah, I got Legend of Zelda Echoes of whatever. You know the one.
I'm going. So what you're saying is I need to get you a new experience for Christmas/Hanukkah.
I mean, if you want, I still owe you for your birthday. And let's see. And also
I like how you
got
missed the innuendo there.
no, completely flew over my head. And I got Paper Mario and a Thousand Year Door, both for $30 digitally on Black Friday sale. So I'm very happy. In any case, speaking of games, I haven't played much of either of the games I just talked about. I spent like 5 minutes, 10 minutes on Zelda. I was surprised she got arrested by her no longer father at the start of it, but I guess she does have to lose her princess status for the game concept to work. But I've mostly been playing older games, starting with the game that I talked about last episode, Dispatch, which had its final episode's debut basically the day our show came out. And I beat it a few days later, and it is an absolutely beautiful experience. Now, I talked a lot last time about how it's like, it's like a Telltale game, except it has gameplay. But it also, like, the ending really does kind of solidify it as an all-timer in terms of just video game plot lines. And I will say that your satisfaction may vary somewhat depending on the kind of ending you get. Because I got the perfect ending in Dispatch. I got to save save the one of my heroes from a life of villainy because I treated her with respect and stuff. And she was also my girl, and I also ended up with her as my girlfriend, so that probably helped. And I also got probably the most clever way of defeating the big bad guy. So okay, so like the big bad guy in this game, he's called Shroud, and he is this guy who can like predict each choice everyone makes. and like through this like kind of this algorithm in his head, and like that's powered by like this energy source that I guess isn't as good as the energy source that he is after, which is this thing called the astral pulse, which is what charges the main character's big robot, who that gets destroyed at the start of the show of the game. But you can't. So like throughout the game, your hero is trying to like remake it, and he has all these failed prototypes. And at the end, you can either give him the prototype.
Yeah. I've got. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
The frickin' just came out.
Oh, it's
I
been out
don't
for
think
a
you need to.
Yeah, I
for a
don't need to go
while.
into too much detail. I haven't even played it yet.
All right. I know I didn't.
This ain't no spoiler cast, my
Spoilery,
dude.
but okay. But in any case, like it is it is like probably one of the best video game storylines that I have experienced in recent memory. It definitely blows all of Telltale's stuff away, both in terms of production values and in writing. I do worry that eventually we're going to get to a point where people are going to start, I don't know, calling out this style of writing under whatever popularizes it, like they do with MCU stuff, because there's a lot of jokes, and a lot of cursing in this stuff, and a lot of vulgarity, and that's an increasingly common writing style I'm noticing. But anyway, so
I mean, it also plays into the sort of, we'll say, we are in the post superhero popularity world where we are now sort of having the introspective, okay, what if superheroes, but we also are, reassessing them in specific ways. Like, we have plenty of other popular series right now
I mean,
that are doing
yes,
exactly
but
that.
like in terms of that, this isn't anything we haven't already seen over the last 10 years.
Sure.
It's just really
Sure.
a really well done version of that. um but yeah. So I do highly recommend it. It's $30, and the final episodes are not disappointing. What's kind of crazy about like the final like 30 minutes of it is that like it is just like a straight up cartoon at that point. Like you are sitting through a lot of like just action sequences at that point, and you have the option to do QTEs for that. Like you can do QTEs at the start and at the end, and then like nowhere else. Or you can also just turn the QTEs off, and I guess just sit back and watch the action, and occasionally get to like choose a move or something. Um, but yeah, so I highly recommend. It's pretty cool. So moving on to Cyberpunk, which I have finally been going back to. It has been like at the back of my head for a while, saying, "Hey, look, there's this cool Switch 2 game that you spent $70 on at launch, and you played about 9 hours of. Like you stop right before like the big mission that's technically still in like the game's opener." And I finally did that. I finally got through that, and I finally got Keanu Reeves, aka Shadow the Hedgehog, and the game is just has finally opened up, and it's just constantly just throwing quests at me now. It is kind of wild. Like it has a very interesting questing system where, because it takes place in the future, you are constantly getting phone calls from every potential quest giver. Like there are a couple of quests that you can also there are also quests that you can like pick up just like in person, like
You say it's the future, and yet you're getting constant phone calls.
constant phone calls from people I don't know who have jobs for me. I don't know. Like
It's the present, and I don't get phone calls. We text each other like humans.
well, you also do get texts. You actually do have the option of not picking up, and then they send you a text, and you can answer that. But I do prefer the calls because that's where a lot of the character is and the voice acting. But like in addition to that, you can also just pick up quests just when you're out on foot. Like there's a couple of cops close to your room, when they're like trying to like not they're like and it's like one of the other cops, and you can get and like that leads to a quest. provided you don't do something like, I don't know, start a shooting spree in the apartment complex. That does cause them to attacking out of the quest forever. But I only ever do that when I'm not saving, so that was fine. But anyway, it's just really wild going through this as like a complete game with all the DLC and stuff, because like there's just so much from like the other updates and from the Phantom Liberty DLC, and so this game just feels like it's just chock full of stuff to do. Like I don't know, I'm just doing an early uh quest that you get from this automated semi-sentient taxi company called Delamain, where you have to track down some taxis that like have been disconnected from his service and they've kind of gone psychotic. And while I was chasing one of them down, I came across just like this armored car just sitting in a warehouse that Keanu Reeves draws my attention to, and now I just have an armored car that can shoot guns, and that was one of the Phantom Liberty updates. So I don't know, like I'm still kind of chipping away at what feels like the really early part of the game, but this kind of feels like a next gen open world RPG in a way that Starfield never really did. Like Starfield still very much has a Skyrim style way of giving you quests and stuff. You don't get phone calls and stuff in that game. Or
I mean, Starfield isn't exactly known for having a great reputation.
no, but
As a
it
game
is
coming from
another like
Bethesda.
sci-fi open world RPG. So I don't know. I think the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 has gone from where it used to be, which was very bad when it came out, so this for me blows Bethesda's latest effort away, is saying something.
A lot of the early issues with Cyberpunk were just just the degree to which it was technically broken. Starfield, that was not a technical. There were some technical things, but that was not the overriding
That is true.
sentiment. The overriding sentiment was just, this is boring. We don't like the characters very much. We don't think there's many interesting things to do.
But I will say that I do occasionally still run into jank. Like one of those taxi chasing missions. The taxi didn't seem to spawn. I had to reload my save. So so like that stuff like that can still happen. But anyway, that's what I've been playing.
Jigs,
Okay, so
tell us about your acts of violence.
I will tell you about my acts of violence. So, I picked up Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection from Atari Games and Digital Eclipse, the same people who do the Atari 50 collection. And
I don't think Atari's actually involved in this one, are they?
I believe they published it. Let me check. But yeah, they did publish it because it was at their booth at the Atari's name is coming right up when I click on it. So yeah, I was at their booth on PAX. They are the ones who were publishing.
They are considered a publisher. Okay, yeah. I am surprised Warner let them.
Yeah, and Warner Brothers Interactive is also mentioned on it because it's I think Digital Eclipse is owned by Atari, and they wanted that museum treatment, which this kind of has. It's
they are, but Mortal Kombat itself is currently owned by Warner.
Yeah, it is, and Warner Brothers.
That's kind of the weird.
Warner Brothers' name does come up in it, and I will say though, unlike the other ones where you're watching like videos and images, and then okay, here's a section where you can play the game if you want, or you can do it from a list and everything. This one, the collection is on a separate list from the documentary, which is The Crypt. You still go video by video and image by image when you're looking through it on the Crypt, and they also have a combat card which has available like stats and replays, and I think a different. It's just basically stats and what your favorite characters are and how much time you've played with it. But of course, the main meat is both the collection of games and the Crypt, where you can check out all the videos. not just videos, but also it goes into documentaries on every single character, and you can find out all the information there, plus a music player. The documentary goes deep, especially into Mortal Kombat 1. That takes up over half the thing itself and what went into that. And the history of, Bally and John Tobias, I guess, when he joined Bally before it became Bally Midway, and about digitized graphics. One of the first arcade ones before Mortal Kombat was Pit Fighter. And then after that, it was
Pit Fighter. Oh God,
that's a terrible one. That was an Atari game. It's funny it's not in here because considering it's Atari published game, they could have put that in this one. And Narc was the successful one that Tobias and I think Ed Boon might have worked on before Mortal Kombat. But the collection itself is the best part of and the big meat of this. And they did an excellent job with this. Not only because you can select any of the arcade games from Mortal Kombat 1 to Mortal Kombat 4.
But more importantly, you can play Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero.
Yes, Mythologies Sub-Zero.
Most importantly.
And you can play the, the Special Forces, where you play as Jax. Also, you can play the... if you're a masochist, you can play the Game Boy Advance or Game Gear versions of Mortal Kombat. You can play Super Nintendo, Genesis versions, 32X of Mortal Kombat 2, along with the Genesis, Super Nintendo, and Game Boy versions of that. Basically, all the console versions, up to Ultimate Combat, Mortal Kombat 3. They do not, even though they have Mortal Kombat 4 in here, they do not include any of the console versions of that. Instead, you get Mortal Kombat Advance from a Game Boy Advance, along with Deadly Alliance and Tournament Edition, all Game Boy Advance versions.
I do appreciate when these collections get that comprehensive.
What I really like is, I don't know if it's included in the, I don't think it's included in the console versions, but in the arcade editions, you can not only choose the difficulty you want to play the arcade version on, so you can select one button fatalities. You can select how long you want to do the fatalities, so you're not limited if you want to do the input versions from. You can have on the far left the list of all of your special moves that won't interfere with the screen, which is really nice. So you know what moves you're getting to. Also, their selection of CRT mode, I want this in every game. That is the most TV-like CRT I've seen in any collection so far, because everything else I've seen, it's just like scan lines and everything. But this has that really good, like, old TV look to it that I haven't seen in a collection before. What's kind of crazy is the Game Boy ones. You could have the LCD selection where you could see like the individual little squares and everything instead of just just flat pixels. If you want it like that, like if you were having your reading glasses on and looking at your Game Boy under the light and seeing every little liquid crystal dot on it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the retro arch level of emulators are really starting to get big into doing stuff like that. I know that's one of the presets that gets jammed in whenever you boot up the Steam Deck retro, whatever it's called.
Yeah, one of the things I like about the documentary styles, we see a lot of their video recordings of them letting the people pose and everything on video before they get digitized and have their animations reduced heavily and such.
And for those who are not 30 years old like us or older, Mortal Kombat, the way that the games actually were made was that they took video of actual actors in costumes, digitized them to make arcade and Genesis and Super Nintendo sprites, and then created a fighting game out of that.
Yeah, you could see them recording Scorpion and asking him to pose like this and like that. You know, the guy in the Scorpion's costume, he's like, okay, is this good? And like, yeah. And then
That was an
at the
interesting
same
way to
time,
do
they
the
turn
graphics.
around and they ask, okay, we need you to pose and do Sub-Zero, because of course it's the exact same actor, and they just colored him blue for when they put him in for Sub-Zero and stuff. And like for the guy with Kano, to do the flying animation, all he did was move his hands forward and did a back kick, and then they just took out his leg to do that particular flying move. They just digitized out his leg, and it worked perfectly. You know. So, and they were coming up with ideas on the fly, like the spear. He goes, okay, well, let's do like a throwing animation, like you're throwing a spear. I think that would be might be cool in the game.
I wonder what will it
Sure
look
enough,
like if they try to do that these days.
He originally did one where he's winding it up and then throwing it. And I guess when it came to the game park, they decided that was taking up too long a time. So they just digitized it to like 2 or 3 animations to, animation beats to get it to throwing the spear. And there's like 2 or 3 people who are taking credit for the K in Kombat for some reason. And they're also especially proud of the big uppercut that you do when you're getting into this. You can fall into a spike pit, or the one that shoots them up in the air. They thought that a lot of people, that was the most visceral thing when you're playing the original Mortal Kombat, is because it's just one of those things where it feels good when you pull it off well. So
I heard.
Huh?
I heard it had, like, on that note, like, I heard it had a lot of the archival materials from the 90s video game Violence Panic.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, yes, I have.
Oh, yeah, yes, you have.
Yeah, yeah. Steve Lieberman is a big part of that later on in the game. I haven't.
It's not literally called the Violence Panic. It's called.
Oh,
it is.
You're not talking about a game. You're talking about when Joe Lieberman got up on stage in the old SEGA for Mortal Kombat and Night Trap.
I don't think I've gotten to that particular spot yet, so that might be, where it's mainly at 49%. So, yeah, I don't think I've gotten to that part, but yeah, I do know it's in there somewhere. Yeah, Mortal Mania, Test Your Night, Penalty. Yeah, I just haven't gotten to that particular area yet. There's a lot of material that goes by.
Unfortunately, chapters. I am not much of a Mortal Kombat fan.
I'm not much of a Mortal Kombat fan, but the cultural place that this series is at is kind of fascinating, because it is. The reason why I brought up that one specifically is because the violent video games debate of the 90s was such a bizarre touchstone that that would be something very fascinating, combined with like the FMV, like the early style. FMV seems like the wrong way to phrase it, but like the digitized photos aspect of this is one of the things that makes Mortal Kombat as interesting as it is historically.
Yeah,
I always thought it was weird when not when Mortal Kombat was always brought up at Night Trap, because Night Trap is the most PG horror game
that
you
was
could ever play.
That was when I finally played that, I was like, really? This is what Joe Lieberman got his
the 2 main games
he was campaigning
against was Mortal Kombat and Night Trap, and Night Trap is so tame. It's so ridiculously tame.
But then of course that continued to the 2000s, Jack Thompson's nonsense. But then we finally got over it for the most part, I think. I don't think we.
I remember the Fox News frickin' meltdown over Mass Effect and not understanding what actually happens in that game.
No,
I don't think it comes and goes in waves, but
it is
by
nothing
and large,
like what it used to be, though, which is why I said mostly.
It is certainly different now, we'll say, but I don't think it is completely gone. Like, I don't know. I'm curious, like, when we'll actually get to the probably somewhat appropriate Roblox freak out, because there's going to be there's eventually going to be a freak out over
that's actually kind
actually.
of something that needs to happen.
Yeah, that is something that needs to happen.
I understand that, but we also know that it's going to be blown way out of proportion when it happens, when it actually happens, and the things that people freak out about are not going to be the things that they should be freaking out about.
So are they not going to freak out about the prevalence of pedophiles on that service?
That'll be one of the things. It's probably not going to be it's probably not going to be the biggest thing at that time.
Oh,
they'll probably find something else to be upset about.
In any case, GX has nothing to talk about because I guess you've not been playing any games.
I've been playing more Minecraft. I don't know if I'm starting. I guess I am technically starting to reach some diminishing returns with it.
That's multiplayer.
No, we'll see. I'm not having you F with my good town.
I don't want to F with your good town. I want to F with something else.
But we'll see. But I'm just to the point now where, like, I'm a little bit more willing to look things up just because I feel like I'm hitting a wall with the things that I can reasonably find and discover on my own. So I'm much more willing to be like, okay, I'm at the point now where I legitimately need these kind of resources. Just give me a machine that I can build to help make these kinds of to help kind of farm these kind of resources. So, like, I've used some tutorials online, like, okay, if I just want infinite ice, this is how you get infinite ice. If I just want to kill a bunch of mobs to get a bunch of drops, this is how you do that. And then today I've been exploring with, like, mapping tools, and the in-game mapping system for Minecraft is not good. It's kind of a sucky.
It really
system.
tries to be analog.
It certainly tries to. I desperately don't want it to be, because I don't think that's good. I don't think it's a particularly useful tool.
There are mods that just give you a map, like a standard modern map.
There are, but keep in mind, Minecraft has the issue where the versions of the game are split between Bedrock and Java. So a lot of the more involved mods are for Java, but if I move to Java, I lose some of the official Sonic stuff that I've been using just to do with the game skin. So, it's ups and downs. Plus, like, I'd have to go through a whole process to get my map converted from one version of the game to another if I wanted to continue that. And then it's the question of, like, well, if I go that direction, is it going to screw things up if I go back the other direction? Do I have to jump between every time I want? And it's just a whole thing. Like, right now, I'm just using a utility. It basically just takes my game data file and is like, okay, I'm going to extract the map of everything that you have seen. You can just look at it. It's fine. And then I noticed, like, okay, there's actually some things here that I maybe would be spoiled on, but at the same time, it's like, but I also want to be able to move forward in this. I want to feel like I'm finding new things, and I can't really do that unless I know what's out there to find. So I'm just at the point now where it's like, I don't know how many hours I put way too many. I put a deeply irresponsible number of hours into it, and it's to the point where, like, okay, well, I don't think I'm going to figure out everything myself. I'm going to need some resources to kind of push me to find something else interesting. What is the next thing I can unpack to still have an experience without this just kind of falling all apart? So, yeah, that's me. I've been playing Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, though.
Oh, you have? Okay, well, good.
I have.
Because guess what? This is a Sonic podcast, and
I never could have guessed.
Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is our next subject. So
Is it now?
so SpongeBob
Talking about
came to
Sonic movies on
the
the Sonic
came
podcast.
came to the game came to the game a week ago, and had a festival, and we played it,
And I
or at least
completely
you and
ignored
I.
the festival.
Did you at least play SpongeBob?
Oh yeah, I played as SpongeBob and Patrick.
Okay, so we played it. um, and I will say that the track itself, I did not like it nearly as much as the Minecraft track.
No,
It
it's not
just
good.
I I like it, but it comes with an acknowledgement that it is a much more structurally it's a much more basic track, which I don't I don't mind. I don't mind it. I think it's a much more it feels a bit more it's definitely more stylish than the Minecraft one. I think the Minecraft one definitely pulls from Minecraft perfectly fine. I feel like Bikini Bottom gives you a better sense of place and takes you through a bunch of different areas. It's just a bit more directly a loop, I guess. There's still some stuff in it I can't quite like one of the jumps in like the middle of the track.
Yeah.
There's a ramp to bypass some stuff, but I've yet to figure out how you're supposed to get there.
I haven't even noticed
So
that. Like, are you talking about like around where the jellyfish are?
right after the jellyfish fields, yeah, like there's a way to cut through that. I have not figured out how you're supposed to though.
Huh. Well, I don't think I've seen anyone do that either. But like I do enjoy the basic structure of the track, and how it goes from regular driving through the through the plankton obstacle, and then then you go on the docks and the beach, and then like at the very end of the third lap, like as everything else is happening, like the volcano erupts and it starts hitting you with rocks and
I
stuff, and that always gets very chaotic.
whenever I did my initial stream, whenever it came out, I audibly cackled whenever it references the moment where Squidward's house just shoots off like a rocket.
Yeah. Well,
Stylistically, it's fantastic. Like this is kind of you know I went through my anxiety phase of like, oh, how are they gonna do with this? Is this gonna make me feel the way it does? And like one of the things that was relieving to me was it certainly felt like these tracks were getting a lot of attention to detail, which I certainly appreciated. Like, say what you will about SpongeBob as an inclusion in the DLC pack, but I saw it more as like, okay, if this is indicative of what they're planning on doing with the DLC packs, that's actually pretty impressive, regardless of how I feel about the license.
But I guess my only real issue is that like the transformation between lap 1 and lap 3 is fairly minimal. Like at lap 3, like you said, Squidward's house gets launched into space, but that's just a background element. And like I mentioned, the volcano erupts, and while that is like really cool, especially since that is generally like when everyone is just throwing all of their items around, so it's just you're just dodging everything, and being able to weave through all that feels really good. um, but but like I don't know, it's just not quite the same thing as like what the Minecraft stage did with the Nether and the End.
I'm not sure if we should expect that out of the other
Well,
stages. Like it's even the Minecraft one, that's a really dramatic shift compared to some of the standard
we do
game
know that the
stages.
Pac-Man stage and the Avatar stage will both have transformation elements, at least going by leaks for the latter.
Well, sure, but also like is it going to be transformation elements to the same degree? Like SpongeBob has transformation elements. It's just a question of it's just a thing of like the transformation elements aren't as dramatic.
Well, those are the things like they take you to completely different parts of the world is what I'm saying. But in any case, so when it comes to characters, I did notice some. Oh, and Shigs. Well, any thoughts on the track at all? You've been silent.
Fine. I think Minecraft did more with its theming than I think SpongeBob did, but it's still pretty good. But I mean, it's the kind of SpongeBob track you'd see maybe on the Nickelodeon Car Racer or something like that. Nothing
So,
too out of the ordinary, you know?
Yeah. And so then of course we have the characters, which of course neither of them can talk, which we've all accepted on Sonic Talk, I think. But I do still see some people complaining about that online. But
I still want to mess with mods and figure out like I want to mess with mods. I want to mess with mods. I want to give them voices.
Mess with the goddamn mods, GXGs. You're the person here who has the PC version.
I can't. I'm playing too much Minecraft.
Just stop playing Minecraft.
Then there's
I can't. I've tried.
But like I did see people complaining about Patrick and how he was being mischaracterized as like too stupid or something. I don't know.
He looks kind of angry or
Excuse
whatever.
me.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. What?
And they also
You
didn't
need
like
to stop being on the internet. No, get off. Okay, you need to stop being on Twitter. I swear to God, Knuckles. You need to abandon Twitter.
Nah,
please.
I'm good.
For the love of God. They're not okay over there.
There are plenty of people
not
that are
an
okay over
place
there.
to be.
But anyway,
no, they're
You don't even
not.
know
And
which ones are
also,
robots anymore.
there were also some complaints. There were also a lot of complaints. Actually, I noticed that when I posted the Patrick's victory animation, a lot of people did not like that. They're calling it cheap and stuff. But I don't know. I thought it was really goofy and cute. So I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. I love his serious face whenever he's driving, especially when I have my spin equipped and he's just constantly rotating with this angry, serious face. He's so focused on spinning in circles.
SpongeBob looks really weird on an extreme gear because like he runs his feet while it is accelerating at the start of a race.
That sounds like SpongeBob.
Oh, you didn't use him on the extreme gear, did you?
I actually did not, but the description sounds like a thing that SpongeBob would do.
No, I will say that's like the one area where I've noticed something might be broken. Because like when you do the up trick, there doesn't really seem to be a complete animation associated with that, and I don't think that was intentional. So they might need to fix that or something with a future patch. So Shigs, how do you feel about the characters and the car and stuff?
They're fine. You gotta love the Krabby Patty vehicle.
No, that's not Krabby Patty vehicle, Shigs. That is the Patty Wagon. Get it right.
Yeah, but it is a Krabby Patty vehicle. He's accurate in the description, if not in the title.
Right.
But yes, but if you don't call it a Patty Wagon, you will get yelled at, and so you need to say it correctly.
I don't.
Yeah, but we can't get yelled at if we're not on Twitter.
Yeah. I'm even yelled at by robots.
But yeah. That is a fun car, and what I do appreciate about like them making it such a very unique theme is that it is really weird to mix and match it with other vehicles.
Sure is. But especially in the fact that it's in the same class as the Minecraft minecart.
Oh god, I did that. It was that was so weird.
It makes me wonder, like what the other classification. Basically, what other classifications will the other cars be? Because I think what I find the most difficult is I tend to lean towards speed-based ones.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of like really silly speed-based ones in the way that DLC has offered so far. It's mostly been like these are handling, or Ichiban's is power, or
I think the
Hatsune Miku
only
has the board.
speed-based one we've had so far was Arsene, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Um,
And I don't love the the design's fine. I don't love it, but
I
it's
love
fine,
Arsene because
I
it let me make a super emo shadow car.
Yes, we all know you love to cut yourself.
No, I don't. Shadow does. Get it right. He's the emo one. I'm just his vessel.
You love to cry in the corner and put on My Chemical Romance and just be really sad.
Now, of course,
as a performance.
Now, of course, I am the only one who is playing these festivals consistently, and
Sure are.
this time we did have air tricks, and we had the air tricks move set rule set, and we also had the spin drift rule set, which those are both again fun. Although and thankfully I didn't notice anyone not participating in the spin drift, so that was good.
There's very little that actually appeals to me in the rewards for the for that stuff, but admittedly I kind of did want the SpongeBob alarm clock horn, foghorn horn.
Yeah, and I did get that.
That one's pretty good. That one's pretty good.
It is really weird being able to just mix and match SpongeBob's decals with Sonic stuff. It is just odd. I did eventually try to make a SpongeBob mobile by putting
more odd than having the Asus logo and a Japanese ramen shop menu.
Honestly, yeah.
Their stickers are nonsense. Their stickers are absolutely off the wall. They are senseless in what they have chosen to cross promote.
My only real issue is that for SpongeBob it was just kind of generic character art. They didn't do anything unique, but I think that's to be expected from these third party properties.
If we get Mega Man and one of them is the 8-bit Mega Man sprite, I might have to do some multiplayer.
I would be shocked if we didn't get the Mega Man 8-bit sprite.
I would love the Mega Man 8-bit sprite. I want to put that on the Minecraft.
What about the Pac-Man logo?
Ooh. Which Pac-Man logo? Okay. So there's a couple ways you could go with that. You could go arcade side art Pac-Man, where it's the weird version of him with 2 legs and no arms. There's the version where it's the broken lines. That one's great. If it's just the 3D render of Pac-Man, that's a lot less interesting, but Pac-Man has some really great 2D art, and there are a lot of
What if
those
it's literally just
love.
the pizza slice, or the pizza with the missing slice?
Is it circle or pixel art?
Pixel art.
Pixel art is more tempting, especially if some of the options are the ghosts also in pixel art. But if it's just going to be like circle, then yeah, it's less interesting.
Okay, so moving on, the CrossWorlds soundtrack got released, and apparently it's higher quality than it is in the game or something. Is that?
I haven't listened myself. I could believe it. I have some post-processing to do on my copy of it to make sure that it is ready for various music shows that I do, and I haven't really got a chance to put listening into it. So some of the stuff that it has that kind of separates it or makes it noteworthy, aside from, quality, because there's a lot of songs in this game. I don't know if you guys know this, there's a lot of songs in this game. Every track, of which there are a lot of them, has 3 separate songs.
Yeah.
This game has a ton of music in it. And on the soundtrack itself, each one has 4 separate songs.
Oh, jeez.
Because it has the intro version, it has the main lap version, it has the final lap version, and it has the final lap version without the chanting track if you want to hear it without the chanting track.
Really?
So take every stage that this game has and multiply that by like 3 or 4, and it's a lot of music.
Even
Now,
the chanting, that's
that said, if you want to stream it, and that's how you particularly consume music like that, that's fine. It's on Spotify, it's on YouTube Music and Apple Music and stuff. If you want to buy it outright, it is like $40. I think it's $40 on iTunes and like $35 on Amazon MP3. So it's like there's a lot of tracks. It's like 4 hours of music, but I guess you're paying for like $10 an hour.
I'm just gonna stream it.
I'm sure you and most people will stream it because that's what people do in 2025. But what if I want it on my Plex server so that I can listen to it everywhere? So, the downside, I will say, if a downside is to be stated, it does not have any of the Hatsune Miku tracks, which some of those are a little bit more like I can understand not having the ones that are that were previously released as like singles elsewhere.
Yeah.
Although they are, to my knowledge, not available to purchase in the US. The ones that are like a little bit less like you probably should have this are her singing the character select and the results screen. I feel like those should be included, but also like none of the DLC has any inclusions on it yet. So like you don't get any of the Minecraft music or any of the SpongeBob music, even though I don't think the SpongeBob music is licensed. I
think
know
that
sure,
is
but
original. The
bikini,
bikini bottom
yeah,
music.
it sounds original. Minecraft is definitely built off of some musical themes from that game, but my hope is they can figure out how to make it work to have like an addendum once all the DLC is out,
Yeah.
much in the same way they did for Final Horizon, and that would just include the DLC music. You're also not getting the end theme or the Corone collaboration song or things like that. You're not getting the songs from other games that have been ported over because, I don't know, why would you do that? Like, you don't need other soundtracks in this soundtrack, so... But it's still a lot of music. It's still a lot of music. I have mixed feelings on on like the actual game soundtrack in general, but like in aggregate, it's still real good. It's still real good.
I do like most of it at this point. So Bikini Bottom was composed by Hiroyuki Kiriyama and Takahiro Kai.
Good to know. I'm gonna have to update some metadata now that stuff is out. I've been listening to rips of it since even before the DLC came out because they put it in the game. I can't do the same for Pac-Man or Mega Man or whoever because those we're still waiting on legitimate reveals for those ones, but I imagine it will probably be able to see some of that soon as they prepare for one of their next big content updates.
Which, speaking of, should be December 3rd. Because they announced that's when we'll be getting patch 1.2, which will give us our first look at the next set of DLC characters, including Nyx, Tangle and Whisper, Mega Man and Pac-Man. Or sorry, just Pac-Man. Mega Man's not going to be in that, I don't think.
Mega Man's a little bit farther down the chain.
But in addition to that, we will also be getting our first look at new gadgets, which will be coming to the game, which they announced a little while ago. Yep. Yep, and they gave us a little hint at what we're getting with that image there. Um, I'm honestly not really sure what it's saying or actually getting. Like I think one is okay. I guess one is one item box becomes a double item box, which that'll be useful. Uh, and another one looks like it's related to the shield. Oh, one I think gives you a shield at the start of each lap. Okay.
It'll be one of them specifically looks like it has to do with the third lap, and that's going to be interesting and curious how they decide to approach that. I'm assuming that's what that means.
I don't use the third lap gadgets enough to know whether or not that's what they look like.
Oh, are there actually third lap gadgets in the game?
Yeah, there are laps. There are gadgets that will give you an item per lap. There are gadgets that will like give you some big bonus on the final lap. So yeah, there is stuff like that in there already.
Okay, I might not have all the gadgets then. I might be missing. I think it stopped tracking like, oh, you got so many races. We're going to level you up and give you the next gadget. I think I got through all the levels of that.
Yeah.
So
Well, I do know that a bunch of gadgets are available
everything
through the online mode, which
okay.
you need to start playing if you for that stuff.
Do I have to though?
Yes, especially if we're gonna like start doing Sonic Stadium online races.
But we're doing that? This is the first I've heard of
I mean,
it.
we should. We did for Mario Kart.
Well, no. Ryan did for Mario Kart.
I could have sworn you hosted a couple of Mario
Karts
a couple years ago. But anyway, so yeah, so we'll be getting that on December 3rd. And once that goes live, you can expect to find a quick look at all those characters up on our YouTube and socials and stuff. So in addition to that, we will also be getting a legend competition for December. And they have introduced certain things to allow people to get the legend more easily. But basically, it's going to be a competition for everyone who's managed to achieve a legend status within Sonic Racing CrossWorlds.
That's me. I'm a legend. Obviously, clearly.
I'm pretty sure you're still in like level E or something from what you told me.
I don't know if I have any levels. I might not have played any online outside of like 2 races in the geez, what even was it? Which it might have been not the Joker one, the
Ichiban?
Yeah, it was. No, I don't think I even played that one.
Okay,
it was probably just the Yeah, it was the Minecraft.
Maybe it was
Minecraft was the only time I played online.
Yeah, that was with me while I was on stream. But it will run from December 4th to December 21st. So everyone who is a legend 9 or greater will be able to participate. Top ranked racers during this special mode will earn exclusive titles such as Emerald Racer and Top 10. Each reward will come with a round 1 note next to it, suggesting there will be more legend competitions to come later down the line. I'm probably not going to be able to get. I'm probably not going to be doing this because I generally play online during the festivals. I do want to play more outside of that, but just like, okay, I played a bunch of the game during the festival. I want to go play other things now. And so I've kind of been locked in this cycle. But I do want to eventually get to increasing my level again. I think I'm at B or something, if I remember correctly. Shakes, have you been doing the online?
Only, well, yeah, a little bit on the regular, but mostly only during festivals and such. Not that much during the other.
Okay, so you've fallen into a similar trap as me then. So anyway, Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is getting a 30% sale on select platforms, although now that seems to encompass Xbox, Switch, and Steam. Which it was kind of interesting because for a while I was looking like it was just gonna be Xbox and Switch, but then the Steam
worth mentioning.
Yeah.
That might be ending very shortly. So if you have any interest in getting it on a discount, do so quickly.
I didn't think it was ending that quickly.
It is currently on it is currently 30% off. It ends December 11th.
Okay,
according to Steam.
All right, I think
I actually got a Switch version for the nephews. It was on I forget what online sale it was, but it was for $30. It was like half price.
Oh,
good
damn!
Deal on it. Yeah.
Was that like the? Oh yeah. So that I know I saw that for physical copies. I'm assuming that's what you got.
Yeah, physical copy for Christmas for them.
I continue to sincerely wonder if Sega is screwing themselves over in the same way that Ubisoft has continued to screw themselves over time and time again by basically training their audience to wait for a rather substantive sale within like 2 or 3 months.
I mean, I don't know. It's sold a million units.
That bad, but when I can get it for 50% off on a sale, that's a problem. Especially when it's only like 2 months from its previous release.
And I can now confirm that it's also on sale on PlayStation, although only until December 2nd. So that's going to be ending soon.
I imagine console will be similar. Steam seems to be going longer, but, the Steam marketplace is a little bit different and operates with different purchasing behaviors.
Yeah. Well, Switch and Xbox started sooner, too. Anyway, I did want to get a version of this game. I was leaning towards Switch 2, but that was because Steam wasn't having a sale. So now that it's having a sale, need to make that decision soon. If I'm gonna get anything, really, probably getting it on PC it makes the most sense for me since that's where the mods and stuff are.
I mean, if you have the decent network setup for some remote play, like that might be useful, I suppose.
I mean, I could also just play on my Steam Deck. Like that's like half the reason I'd want it.
Certainly an option too.
Well, all right. So, and we also got a King Donpa 30% off ad when this was announced, which was fun.
We did.
But also
they really went with it. Like they got some stuff through. We got like 3 of them, I think.
I don't think we got 3. I remember seeing. I think this was number 2.
I remember seeing 2.
Did you check the videos today?
Huh? What?
Did you check the videos today?
No. Was there a new one today?
It might have been yesterday. But there was another one yesterday. I know that much.
Oh, jeez.
I'm pretty sure this is a third one. So.
Man. Well, in any case, so moving on to right, and also with this they also announced the Sonic Adventure decal, but that seems to have bugged out. No one can use it, so
good.
Yeah,
good.
I understand you're happy because you hate Sonic Adventure now. Oh yeah,
I don't hate Sonic Adventure.
I see it. Last chance savings with King Donnie. Okay.
I don't hate Sonic Adventure. I just think that its legacy is overblown.
All right,
and I want people who love Sonic Adventure too much to be unhappy. And they do not deserve happiness.
And speaking of things that you hate, Sonic Racing CrossWorlds and Sonic Rumble both got nominated for the Game Awards.
It's true. That much is true. I do hate the Game Awards. I do hate most Keighley events.
Now Sega's in good with them, so I have to keep watching them. because apparently they're just going to announce we had like 1 year where everyone thought they were going to announce a Sonic thing, and they didn't, and people got super pissy, and now it's like every single year there is a Sonic thing at every single goddamn Keighley event, and I have to watch it. I'm very annoyed. Anyway.
I just hate that I have to deal with people who get weird into the award aspect to it, and I cannot stand the insecurity of Sonic fans who are like, no, Sonic needs to win.
Not
Sonic
something I've
needs
been
to
seeing
win.
much of these last couple of years. Regardless, um, so Sonic Racing CrossWorlds was nominated for both Best Family Game and Best Sports Racing Game, which those should be two categories, but whatever. Although any other year, I would think it actually have a pretty decent chance of winning sports racing, but of course, this is the year of Mario Kart World, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's a distinct possibility. I definitely think, like, you can look at the numbers, and this is one of the issues with the Game Awards, is that the Game Awards are not... The Game Awards voting is through a combination of basically global games outlet voting combined with a public vote.
Yeah.
And that typically means that the thing that tends to win tends to be the most populist result, tends to be the thing that people have played the most.
Yeah.
And simply speaking, you can look at the numbers. A lot more people have played Mario Kart World than have played Sonic Racing
What is it at
CrossWorlds,
now?
despite the
10
fact
million?
that it's multi-platform. It's ridiculous. Switch 2 is selling real good, man. Switch 2 is selling real good. It's a real good start for that console.
Oh, yeah.
So like, and the fact that, like, it comes with it for each one of them, like, it's just, it's not, it is in no way whatsoever an actual reflection of quality. It's why I don't particularly find the Game Awards worthwhile, is because it's just going to be the most populist stuff.
Yeah,
it's just going to be the thing that the most people have played.
That is kind of one of the things that makes the Game Awards like more boring for me. Like it's very often the same games in all the same categories, and so it's like one game will just sweep a whole bunch of categories, and that will be that.
Yeah, there's more, to me, there's more valid game awards. Like, I don't want to watch any game award system where there is a public vote available. Like that there's no, to me,
like,
there's
maybe
no place
as a
for it.
tiebreaker or something.
Choice awards at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's about the amount of respect that I have for the Game Awards, is comparable to the Kids' Choice Awards.
Yeah. Except in this case, it's not who does Nickelodeon own, it's who has paid Jeff Keighley a lot of money. And so a lot of,
or who is he personal friends with?
Oh God, Hideo Kojima really struck it good there.
Or what awkward celebrity that has no business being on stage talking about a personal project, getting time so that Keighley can meet them.
And also, okay, we can't gloss over that, but Sonic Rumble is also up for Best Mobile Game, which I do not have a point of context here to know how it compares to the other games in the list. I just know that I will be voting for it because I do have fun with it. But yeah, so like, it's kind of funny that this year we have 2 Sonic games up, and I just want to ask both of y'all, like, how many Sonic games before this have been nominated, period, over the history of the Game Awards?
A couple. I think Frontiers
did.
Frontiers did. I'm pretty sure Sonic
We're not counting Player's Choice because that had like a whole assload of games. I mean, like, in like the proper categories.
I don't know, man. Like,
well,
it probably not many, but also I would say Sonic Frontiers marked a dramatic change in the production value and ways that they have pushed. Like I said, a big part of this is just like, hey, we haven't had Sonic games as big as these for a while, and we had a very long span of like 4 years in which we simply did not have Sonic games. And we had a big popular movie franchise, which reignited interest in the series broadly. So, I don't know, man. What do you want from me?
Well, I just want a guess, but I guess that was also a thing you could do. Chigs, you have a guess?
I don't know. I was guessing at if any of them, it's let's see, Mania, Frontiers, and that would be about it.
Okay, so the two nominees over the history of the TGAs is Sonic Mania in 2017 and Sonic Superstars in
Superstars
2023.
is a surprise.
What? Okay, sure.
So we have had two. So, like, in the space of a single TGA, we have doubled the number of Sonic games that have been nominated.
So I'm looking at the current nomination list for best mobile game this year, but among Sonic Rumble. So there's two on here that I am immediately just gonna say like, no, Sonic Rumble doesn't have a chance at winning this because like it's going up against Umasumi
Oh, right.
Uma
The horse game.
Uma Musume Pretty Derby and Wuthering Waves, and I think both of those hit harder than Sonic Rumble did. Like, I don't think Sonic Rumble has that much of a chance for this one. Like, there is like an off chance maybe it makes that that the racing game makes it in the racing game category, but like, yeah, like
I do
I don't
not
know.
expect CrossWorlds to beat Bonanza, and I do not want it to beat Bonanza. I will still
Oh
vote for
no,
it,
no,
but
no, no.
regardless, Bonanza deserves it in the family category.
I have my reservations about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I have some complaints about it, but I think as a family game specifically, it kicks the crap out of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I love Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, fantastic game. I have very few complaints about it. I think Bonanza is a better family game.
Well, I'm voting for
Yeah.
CrossWorlds because I'm a filthy fanboy. But anyway.
I am not voting because these are sucky awards. Why would I ever vote in them?
I will vote
What
for
would
you
be
in
the point?
spirit, Chris.
That you do not perform identity theft on me. I will press charges.
Okay, let me just sign up with my backup email. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we will have the results maybe by the next episode. I don't know, but I think the Game Awards are what
Maybe you will. I won't be watching.
December
I have
12th.
better things
I
to do.
think is when this.
I have no clue. Someone will say something on another message board I'm in or another Discord I'm in, and I'll like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I should probably pay attention if for any reason my DMs pop off.
Yeah, because there will probably be a SEGA announcement at the show if the past few years have been any indication.
You know what's really gonna PO me?
What?
What's really gonna make me mad? Is if they have some sort of teaser for whatever their follow-up to Sonic Frontiers is, with the same level of teaserness that they had with the original teaser for Sonic Frontiers.
Where it's just weird
That
letters.
frickin' logo, that they never explained. That was never properly explained as to what it's supposed to be or mean.
I think it was supposed to be like ancient text or something.
Yeah, no kidding. But what is it? But they continue to use it. Like, that stuff was in Sonic or Shadow Generations. They continue to use it. They haven't explained any of it, so it's supposed to be something, I imagine.
Shades. Guess which characters have just come to Sonic Rumble. You should know this.
Tangle and Whisper.
And who else?
And they're 170 and Emerl in a event pass, so it's
yes.
one of like 3 or 4.
and also man, what was
it? A Christmas Sonic and Shadow. who are
And
three
we
times
also
the price of Tangle and Whisper.
and we also got Feudal Soldier Charmy, which is
Which I'm
such a
gonna be honest, it's a pretty adorable Charmy.
it is such a weird idea for a skin, though, man. Like, come on, Feudal Soldier Charmy, a feudal soldier of
It
a
is.
6-year-old child bee,
It is weird.
and he's got like the samurai thingy, the samurai clothing. I forget what they call that, and like the platform shoes and stuff. But anyway, like I going away
Tangle and
from that
Whisper
weird
makes
thing.
me regret that all the red rings I won during the 15 million Rumble event that was going on for 2 weeks, that I spent those on Storm and Wave and then just wait.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of tempted to buy red rings, and I don't want to be tempted to buy red rings at all.
Yes. Well, I don't know. Like compared to other characters, the Tangle and Whisper are not that expensive. Like I am
No, they are
considering. Like
in
I think
comparison. I guess the Christmas Sonic, which I saw somebody today using, is 559 or red rings. 500, close to 600 red rings for that one. And
There's always a whales.
Yep, and Tangle and Whisper are 197.
Okay,
which,
yeah.
You'll get for if you earn enough for like red rings in a week and maybe spend $20, you can get those too, I think.
And I have more than enough red star rings for those, so I will be getting them to make some video footage for Sonic Stadium.
I was gonna say you
But
should make some video footage here. But one thing I like is if you look in the shop and look at the characters, touch them, you see a little initial animation to them, and those animations have more character to those two characters than anything that's been done for like Sonic Dash or Sonic Forces, because you actually you could you got when you click on Tangle, she like sort of jumps in the air, like pumps her fist, and that's all excited. And
that's every skin in Sonic Dash and Sonic Forces.
No, this is very specific to Tangle.
Yeah, these are specific to Tangle, and the Whisper one.
No, but what I'm saying is, no one has particularly any personality in Sonic Dash or Sonic Forces.
Oh,
true. They have very involved skin designs, but they don't
no personality. No.
Yeah.
So
but that's basically because like inside,
when you click on Whisper, she looks at you, gets shocked, and kind of shies away from you because she gets all shy.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's pretty. And so that fits her character perfectly as well.
I really like how they look too. Like I am just looking at their models, and they just came out very well in this game. I think
they fit well in the toy style.
Whisper especially.
It works well.
Like one thing that I enjoy about Whisper is that she generally just has more detail than other Sonic characters. So it's like she has like her little wisp capsules underneath her cape. Yeah. I will definitely be buying these. These will be my first Red Star Ring purchases on my personal account in a while. And I think I'm also going to be buying my first pass for Emerl. Now, for the record, I was always going to buy a pass. I just didn't know which one. And it was like, you know what? This is the Shadow 20th Anniversary Pass, because I guess they had to celebrate that alongside everything else they have going on. And so like we got Emerl and we got a Black Doom buddy. And I don't know, like there's enough there for me to spend the $8. But I do appreciate that they're starting to like expand the core Sonic cast a bit now between Storm and Wave and the Tangle and Whisper and Emerl. Not just reskin what's already there.
Right.
So and this also of course represents the latest game that Tangle and Whisper are getting into, like second game in as many weeks.
Yep. That's very true.
So moving on, So Sonic Rumbles. So sorry, Sonic Rumble reached 15 million players in a tweet announced about a week ago, where the developer also promised to make improvements over the short and medium term of the game's lifespan. Now let me just. Oh, this link isn't working. Okay, it's gonna take me another second to bring that up.
I know
Apparently,
some of your links weren't working.
ah, but but like so they have been listening to consumer feedback, and they are finally starting to make the changes that to make some changes. They haven't made clear exactly what kind of changes they'll be making yet, but this kind of feels like something they should have been doing, like, I don't know, months ago, like, when the game was still not globally released. um okay, come on. I need to pull up that list. Come on. Just work for me. Okay, well, I don't know why it's not working. Okay. I guess I should have pulled this up earlier.
I don't know what you're trying to access. Describe to the listener what you are trying to
I'm trying
access.
to access a bunch of points that they said they will be improving on. Here we go. Our plans for future improvements. So what they said is we are also looking at making improvements to the following areas of Sonic Rumble, making items like skins and Red Star rings easier to obtain through playing the game, making the shop and in-game content more achievable, and revising the game interface and tutorial to add greater clarity on how the game functions. And this sounds like all the things that have been like our core to our issues with the game. And I'm just kind of left wondering, like, these are not new problems, especially the market. Like, people have been complaining about the economy for a long time. I've been complaining about the economy for a long time, but they wait until the global release finally just decide, okay, I guess this isn't working. But I kind of feel like we have gotten sort of our first taste of what their at least short-term solution is going to be, because Jigs, as you told us on Discord, you have been grinding a lot of Reg Star rings lately.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
been playing the game regularly on the Steam Deck and not much on mobile, except for I'll check in during work and like click on the whatchamacallit, claw machine stuff and see if there's any event things I've won, and I'll click on that, but I won't really play on my mobile phone. But this game's been getting a lot of use, giving me a good use on my Steam Deck, which I haven't played with in months before.
yeah, I just
So
got the game set up on mine.
yeah, because it's a game that's really should be played with controllers, not touchpad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they've had a 15 million player event thing where you're just playing regular, and you get a whole bunch of different missions unlocked through the bottom, and it's constantly rewarding you with red rings along with regular rings and some of those star
Yeah.
bits. I forget what the heck they're called.
And like this has been
And
the
it's
first. Go on.
it's been enough for me to not only unlock two of the 75 ring riders outfits, including the Tails with the goggles, who looks like Sonic Boom Tails, and he's been my main for a little bit now. But also Wave and Storm. We were normally
Um,
220 rings each, so I've gotten about 500 rings through this event.
Yeah, and like this has been like the first truly sustainable way of grinding rings since I started playing the game. Because like before then, like it would like trickle rings out to you through just like achievements from the game's achievement section, or like you could get like a batch of Red Star rings from moving up in the rankings, or
Mm-hmm.
from playing levels. But like none of that stuff is like a consistent way of getting them. But this is, and if this is like something that they're going to like keep around through like I assume various mission modes or something, then that will make the Reg Star rings far easier to get. The characters far better, far easier to get without having to spend a lot of money. Now, I still think that the solution here should be to like make the Reg Star rings cheaper and the characters cheaper, so that if you want to spend some money on a character, you can. But like, I'm not gonna say no. They're just gonna start saying, okay, you can give us 40 bucks, or just get it for free.
So what you would run into there, it's the argument of like, okay, but then did you suddenly screw over the people who did invest money? like, you could like, if they wanted to eventually devalue that, they could probably do it slowly over time.
Yeah.
But if you attempt to do a rapid adjustment like that, that was going to be much more difficult. The issue, by and large, was that when it launched, it was so hard to get anything that it's like, well, it's coming at you in such a trickle that you really can't buy much of anything. Now you can at least get some things a little bit more reasonably, and that's kind of what you want out of your mobile economy. Is nobody's going to buy everything unless they are extremely unless they are going to be the whale.
Yeah.
And you want to give the chase things for your whale consumers, but you also need to make sure that your less spending consumers and your free consumers are still getting some things in order to retain them as players, because the whales need players to play against.
And this feels
the
like the
dolphins need
first
players to play against.
This feels like the first big step towards like giving people like me who only want to spend a little bit of money a way of unlocking characters. so that's going to be nice if they actually continue and expand on this.
Yeah, get like a while ago, I know games writer Austin Walker had discussed like his relationship with something like a Genshin Impact, and a Genshin Impact like that operates on a gacha system, but the manner by which it works itself out is it will throw currency at you, and you can just save it up until you find a thing that you actually legitimately want to try to put towards.
Something they do well
this feels more closer to that.
Something I think they do well with the gold rings. The gold rings, pretty much a lot of stuff is accessible that way. Although it used to be I could find a Sonic character, a regular Sonic character amidst the gold rings. That's how I got like Charmy and Cream and a few of the others. And I'm still missing Metal Sonic, but all I'm getting now is different avatar characters.
Oh, so they are no longer making all the core characters like a part of the way of unlocking the shop?
It could be because I've collected almost all of them except for Metal Sonic, so I'm just
You're finally getting good characters.
I'm just missing him when he's not around.
I don't know. Like
good avatars.
I thought they had made it so that you had to unlock everyone to like unlock the regular shop, but I guess they changed that again since I did it. But I don't know, like just keep checking and eventually he should just pop up.
Yeah, maybe he's like the only one I don't have out of the regulars in the lineup.
So going over to the other mobile games for a minute, they went ahead and they announced a bunch of characters for Sonic Dash and Sonic Rumble as part of their like basically winter roadmap. And we are getting Doom Shadow, who is available right now. And we are getting Riders Rouge, who just had her event not too long ago, and she is based off of the Sonic Riders or Sonic Riders skin.
Yeah, that's why she's called Riders Rouge, right? That Riders Rouge is based off of the Sonic Riders version of Rouge.
Right.
But yes, but I do find it interesting that now that they seem to finally be expanding into the other Sonic Rider skins, they went with her first. And also we have Reindeer Knuckles, who's
Why do you find that interesting, Knuckles? Why do you find that interesting? Is there something interesting about her design in that version?
Yeah, don't read on social media right now. Like, oh, they finally decided not to cover up.
Okay, fine. They put Rouge. They went with Rider
They
Rouge
put
first
Horny
as the
Rouge
sex
in.
appeal. Are you happy? Are you happy? I've said it. People are attracted to the bat lady in her skimpy outfit. The only one
Are
I'm
they
aware
now?
of that shows skin on the
Flying
midriff.
mouse boobies. There you go.
Bat boobies, not mouse boobies.
I said flying mouse.
Oh, flying mouse. Yes, exactly. In any case, we also got Reindeer Knuckles, who's a goofy looking guy, and Ragnarok Silver.
These are some weird choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they put no thought into some of these names. Like Reindeer Knuckles, he is like the holiday themed character we're getting this year, and it's like Knuckles in a holiday themed outfit, and he's got like antlers on his head, like golden
I don't
antlers.
know. They have a better variety of font choices than the card game does. They chose different fonts for different things, and I at least value that.
I just
Yeah,
don't
it's like
understand why they are like doing Norse god stuff
they could pick
for a
the
Sonic mobile game
IDW
now.
characters and stuff. Instead, they're going with these little ridiculous
Well,
new Sonic character with a hat kind of thing.
well, I mean, the reason why is because they make if they're making like 4 of these in a season or more, like there is a churn to how they work out, how they move forward, and a lot of it comes down to like, okay, start with a template, build things on top of it, build something different on that template. If they have to like these are a lot easier to try to approve than going with like, okay, well, we're going to make I don't know, someone from who from like
Let's say the conductor
I
from
don't know,
Murder Sonic the
Kit.
Hedgehog.
Yeah, if they had to do the conductor, well, they'd probably have to come up with a model, and the model would have to go through approval, and that they don't have something to really start from. Although I guess I don't know, to a degree that might not be as true if you look over at Sonic what's the deck
Blitz.
building
Sonic
game?
Blitz.
Sonic Blitz. I'm honestly wondering if like these games are going to start borrowing from each other soon.
I mean, Sonic
Like
Dash and Sonic Forces already basically do that.
they do from each other, but they're the same developer. But I'm wondering if eventually we're going to get to the point where Sonic Blitz starts having these kind of skin version of characters where you get the specialty version of each, which who knows, like the game's not even out yet. The game's not even publicly available. It's just sort of in this limbo, but they are making a bunch of new models for things.
Yeah.
So do we eventually get to the point where they do what they did for the god-awful Roblox content churn, where they're just pulling from every possible source that they possibly can?
Well, I don't know if that even work for Sonic Blitz because that's like very based around like the characters and legacy and stuff. Like we were talking
Well,
about that
well,
before, how like we don't really think how Sonic with a Hat would work with that.
I I disagree. I think it could. I think you could absolutely like they totally make variant versions of cards for Marvel Rivals, or not Marvel, Marvel Snap. Like the big thing that they have for that game is like you can get the special variation of this other card. It may not be mechanically different, but it has the different version of the art on it.
Ah, okay. Well,
So
the
I
thing
see
about
that
a
as
lot of
pretty
these
real.
skins is that they like have like weapons and stuff and special abilities, so it wouldn't necessarily make much sense as a reskin.
Well, I mean, look at Sonic Rumble. Like the characters are functionally identical no matter what skin they have,
Yeah,
and they
true.
just put
But
clothing on them.
Sonic
Like
Blitz,
it's not that hard to make a skin.
the character attacks and abilities and stuff tend to be a little more contextual.
Yeah, I'm saying it's doable. You can absolutely do it.
Okay. In any case, Like, I am surprised it took them this long to start doing other Sonic Riders characters as like alt skins. So I'm guessing that Rider Rouge probably has opened the floodgates going forward. um,
Yeah, I guess, but like we've had Jet, we've had Wave, we've had Storm
yeah,
for
but
a
they've been
while.
there for a
Like
long time. Like those.
we have like there's more of an awareness of Sonic Riders now that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is out, and to the degree that Sonic Rumble has a bunch of Sonic Rider skins. Like it's more prominent now to actually pull from that stuff. I thought they had like Riders Sonic and Riders
They had
Shadow
Rider Sonic and
already in
Rider
those
Shadow,
games.
yes, but
Yeah.
those were Sonic and Shadow. Like, but now,
What?
but
What?
Sonic and Shadow getting a thing is like different from Rouge getting a thing. Like Rouge is not like a major the major mascot
Sure,
character
but
of the franchise or his doppelganger. Like Riders Sonic, I think we got that one like a year ago, but like Rouge is significantly more obscure compared to him.
in the third, like, hey, in the third wave of the things that you have to get through Sonic Rumble, it's like you get the alternate skin for Rouge
Yeah,
where she's a cheerleader.
yeah.
Like
We
they
have all that
I think
in
everyone's got that
Rumble
one.
now.
That was the easiest ones.
but what I'm saying is like I got a skin for Rouge before I got her base character. Like they are certainly trying to position her differently than they have in the past. Like I am not suggesting that how should I put this? She is a female character. They don't have a lot of those if you don't include a lot more IDW stuff. There is at least some degree of reason to do that. Now, I don't always think that the way that they choose to do it with her is tactful, but it is worth mentioning that, yeah, she is one of the few consistent female characters in the series that people can identify.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Because if you look at the four characters that they have coming up, it's Shadow, it's Knuckles, it's Silver, and then one female character. Like for a series that has a significant portion of the fan base that is female, it still feels weird that it still feels weird that it is just kind of thrown in a way.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Well, all the more reason to
It's
get much more Tangle and Whisper in there. In any case,
yeah.
so moving on to Paramount news. So we've got another rumor. This time from that man, what was his name? Shine something, but
I don't know. You follow him.
um, he has a bit of a mixed track record apparently, but he has gotten things right. My Time to Shine Hello is his name. So,
Okay.
according to him, the Shadow movie is officially in development at Paramount. And they also want to do an Amy Rose project, which none of this is especially surprising at this point. Like the thing that kind of feels like we get recycled every few months is some variation of Paramount really wants to do some spin-offs, and it's definitely good to do a Shadow one. But I have to imagine
Yeah.
that if Shadow is now like officially in development, depending on how fast they move on it, maybe we'll hear something sometime next year. Like I do remember
Well,
how they announced like Sonic 3 and Knuckles at the same time. I could see them, I don't know, giving us a status update on Sonic 4 alongside a Shadow announcement if they're actually going to do that. I am kind of wondering what they would do for an Amy Rose project, though. I would guess a TV show. Although, man,
maybe. I have no. Well, like the thing is, it's not even worth speculating on because we don't know Amy Rose's position
No, we
yet
do not.
within this. So it's like, well, we can't make reasonable guesses because we don't know who she is yet, aside from the most obvious suggestions like, we wanted to make it like Princess Peach and the Mario. It's like,
Well,
of course you do.
they have talked about how they want to like hire a big actress for her, which is like,
Sure.
duh, obviously. Like, I didn't
Yeah,
even bother with that one because it was like, of course they want to hire a celebrity. They're always going to hire a celebrity. They only didn't do that once, and that's because they were hiring another celebrity.
yeah, yeah.
So, like, you know, the Tails got to have his game voice actors because they were also getting Idris Elba for Knuckles.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taken with a grain of salt. Like,
Yeah, I
they
made that quite
like you
clear.
said, they've come up with like 7 different ways that they want to have more Shadow in the series. So it's like, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what to make of it.
if this is right, it'll be a movie, so that would be interesting.
But given how long it has been between, like we don't even have official confirmation yet that
Yeah.
they're doing anything meaningful with Shadow. And they said even before the 3rd movie came out, it was like, no, we're gonna do more Shadow. We're gonna do a Shadow series or the Shadow movie. We want to do something with Shadow. We really want something. So it's like, how many years away are we looking to even approach something with Amy Rose, especially when the 4th movie is going to be 2027?
Yep,
Or 2026?
early 2027.
Okay, so we're not even within a year of that film yet. So,
But like, I don't know, like if they're confident enough, they could just get that stuff going right away. Like you make that part of Sonic 4's hype cycle or whatever.
that sounds like a dangerous thing to do if you are diverting attention between them, unless the Shadow thing is going to be a series. The series could complement, but I think that they would be shooting themselves in the foot if they start shoving these out more than once a year.
Oh, well, I would expect Shadow
Yeah.
to not come sooner than 2028. I could see them maybe trying to like get the Sonic movies out close to like almost every year, but you know, no more than that. The franchise definitely couldn't like sustain an MCU style release schedule.
Yeah, I worry about them getting too big for their britches in this. I think there is these films did very well for how much they were made for. There is a very real risk, that they could misinterpret it as a line of infinite growth, in which I don't think that there is appetite for infinite growth.
As
in
I
this
see it,
series.
the only place they really have for big growth from here on is like they need to crack Asia. And that is something that Sonic has never done.
I don't think they can.
Yeah.
They made one of those films that in Japan was called Tokyo Mission. They're never going to make it there. They just aren't.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Oh, such a flop. But it's like, you know, they need to like the only way you get that they're gonna get above a half billion is if they like manage to make a decent amount of money in Japan, North the South Korea and China. Like they need those markets.
I mean, like, I'm gonna be real. Like, same thing as I said before. I'm not sure that they can do a movie that will do as well again as Sonic 3, because Sonic 3 was the one. It was the Sonic Adventure 2.
Yep.
Like, that's the hey, the fans lose their GD minds over Sonic Adventure 2 and what it represents within the fandom. It's the thing that a lot of people, even outside of us weirdos who go on a website to talk about Sonic, know as massive and iconic. And they used that one. that was the one that they used. So do they do better than that? I am very skeptical.
So Shigs, any thoughts?
I think they can't be just mass producing. I'm not Shadow movie. I can see a Shadow series on Paramount Plus. That's what they did with Knuckles.
Yeah.
But the to have a movie in between movies is just gonna saturate the Sonic market as far as movies go.
I do feel like Shadow is the one thing that could sustain a
I
spin-off.
think if they're gonna do movies in between movies,
Yeah.
do something different with that franchise and do like animated, features that are not in the same universe as the movie ones are.
Well,
I am very
that would be nice.
Honestly, I am very pro. Hey, make an animated series based on this movie universe.
Yes, I think I suggested it on here myself.
Yeah, you could do it. You don't have to make it you could make it 2D animated. I think you could interpret those characters in 2D very reasonably well. Make it stylized and find a really strong appeal for that. Hey, Paramount still needs to make kids content. I think that's something that's a reasonable ask for them. Now, that said, I don't know if SEGA wants them to do that. SEGA still seems to be very willing to wheel and deal outside of the Paramount realm with other studios.
I've got to imagine that they
could
that they would be willing to allow the movie to have its own animated spin-off. That is just money.
Maybe, but also maybe Sega wants to be able to own some of it. They like having very clear access to Sonic Prime
just
and
do
all of
two
the things
Sonic
in Sonic
cartoons.
Prime.
Do the movie one and then the Sega one. There we go.
I don't think we will ever get that again. Not at the same time.
I don't know. We got something kind of like that with Knuckles and Sonic Prime. Albeit Knuckles was live action. They were so both
kind of. Yeah. You know what? I'll give you that.
So moving on. So the side movie exec producer tapped to Sonic-ify, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie franchise. So they tapped executive producer Neil H. Morix to lead a family-friendly reboot of the TMNT movie movies.
What if we don't make them look like absolute garbage this time?
Yeah,
you mean don't
did something
you mean
different?
don't Bayify them?
Yeah, what if we don't make a Michael Bay style film out of the Ninja Turtles?
Were you saying,
or at least aesthetics for one?
Were you saying something, Shigs?
No,
okay.
But I do not like the Michael Bay ones at all.
But yeah, so
I have heard that the second film kind of gets the tone a little bit more right, but they still look ugly as sin.
The second one in theaters just because we're getting the cartoon one, more closer. But no, it's still pretty terrible.
I watched the first movie somewhat, and it was very boring. Multiple sources say Paramount wants to Sonic-ify the TMNT franchise. Sonic the Hedgehog is a okay, I don't need to read that. And they're all produced by Morix. If you want Sonic, you've got to go to the guy who did Sonic, said one insider. So I do have to wonder, what do they think Sonic-ify means? Does it mean I don't know, just make a more family friendly production, or have Leonardo making all sorts of pop cultural references? Not Mikey too, but Leonardo is the serious one. So will he also be doing the pop culture references?
Well, number one, that's not entirely okay. There are different universes in which Leonardo has fulfilled different roles. Guy.
Usually, I know he wasn't in the Rise of the TMNT. He was actually the ghost.
Yeah. But I generally speaking, I think it just means that they want to make something that is more, like you said, a little bit more family intensive. That Paramount has differing views of what that means. I'm not gonna assume yet that means that they're going for a specific style of writing, but I think it does suggest a different style of tone. That they are going to be a little bit more willing to basically have the live action thing, but maybe just have them look a little bit more cartoony.
Yeah.
That would be my assumption, but also, I don't know, they have a lot to prove out of that, especially whenever they released that CG one fairly recently that my understanding that I sadly have not watched yet and should rectify soon.
I rather liked it.
Yeah, it seemed like people liked that thing quite a lot.
Some people hated that they acted like teenagers, but that's why it was good.
Wait, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles acted like teenagers.
Yes,
oh my
yes,
god.
They were very immature.
How dare they?
Actually, my brother's favorite Ninja Turtles movie so far.
I think Donatello still has braces. And he has like a high-pitched voice.
Yeah, Donatello's the youngest one of that in that one.
But as I understand it, like this is specifically for the live-action one, so it's like, you know, they're still making a sequel to the animated one, but they did apparently cancel The Last Ronin movie, which is a tragedy, given what I've heard about that comic book storyline.
That is unfortunate. I suspect the feelings I suspect maybe the Sonic stuff might have hurt that a bit. The attitude of like, oh, we want to do for Turtles what we did for Sonic. That I could see that being a problem or causing an impact on that. But
I just hope there isn't like this massive hatred for Sonic now in the TMNT community. That stuff happens when they perceive a franchise as ruining something.
I mean, Paramount wasn't a good film studio. Paramount's a very deeply inconsistent film studio from the outset. Like, they don't need a Sonic to ruin a Ninja Turtles. They have shown they are very capable of ruining a Ninja Turtles all on their own. Thank you very much.
I'm very glad that people haven't treated the Bay Ninja Turtles movies like they've been treating the Zack Snyder's DCEU stuff yet. We can all disagree that stuff.
Even then, Ninja Turtles was still sillier than anything that the DC serious attempts were attempting to use.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe not Aquaman. I don't know.
I think there was a point in which Aquaman kind of figured out, like, oh, no, this is bad and stupid, and we're just going to treat it as bad and stupid. Not quite up to Thor levels, but, you know,
yeah, it was
a little bit more
Aquaman
than they had
ones
been.
were fun.
So, GX, what is the best Bowling for Soup song to ever be written for Sonic?
I don't know. I don't know much about Sonic music. I don't really listen to it.
It was Endless Possibilities, of course, which was a great song, and it has got
I've never heard of it.
Greater remix from Bowling for Soup.
I've never heard of it, but also you said the name wrong.
It's not Bowling for Soup?
No, that's not the thing you said wrong.
Endless Possibilities?
Yeah, you said that wrong.
How'd I say it wrong?
You pluralized it.
Okay, well, I didn't mean to. Anyway, I listened to that a couple hours ago. I really liked it. Like
Knuckles? No.
What?
Say the name of the song again.
Okay,
for
look.
me.
Okay, English Possibility. Are you happy?
Yes. Especially since that flustered you.
I hate you sometimes. I'm going to send you something for your birthday that's mean. Like, I don't know, something mean.
I already own Balan Wonderworld on PC. I don't think you can do worse than that.
Well, I don't know. I'll send you a Labubu and then tell someone that you have a Labubu and they'll like go after you because apparently people are crazy for those things right now.
Yeah, but I'm not on Twitter, so it doesn't matter.
I'll send them your Blue Sky. They'll find you.
Yeah, good luck. Sure.
But anyway, so I don't know. I don't have anything else to say beyond that. I assume you guys haven't listened to it, um,
No.
but it's just done by the same people. It's apparently like I think it's still like attached to Sega. And I do recommend if you enjoy that song to check it out because it is in my opinion, it is a superior rendition of an already really good song. So moving on, so this was something. So I just mentioned Labubus. I know nothing about Labubus aside from the fact they look kind of weird, and that they briefly appeared in Abbott Elementary because all the kids had one. Um, but so I got a little confused by Dreg's headline that said Sonic Labubus are coming. But
So okay.
No, Sonic little teddy
The
bears are
specific
coming. They're blind
yeah,
box. They're
Sega
yeah, the
Labbies are
specific
similar
coming.
to a Labubu, but not a Labubu.
Not really, even
so
similar. Go on, Shigs.
so
GX.
okay. So a Labubu is a specific set of these sort of blind box character made by a Hong Kong artist that basically became famous. They got associated with a specific retailer for a time. They were sold in blind box, and these tend to pop up not just in like Asian markets. I know Japan pretty famous for having this style of sales where you just get a blind box of various figurines in various sets that is designed for you to collect them all. These somehow broke containment, became a little bit more of a weird global thing.
I heard about them secondhand on
Popular.
Twitter, and I was very confused.
Yeah, they just sort of have an iconic face. I don't quite get the appeal of them myself, but I generally speaking rarely get the appeal of like collectibles of this sort. Like for me, I look at this and think it's not that different from the craze that hit with troll dolls when they originally launched, and it's like,
Would you compare it to Furbies or Beanie Babies?
I think the troll doll comparison is stronger.
Okay.
Just because they
Yeah.
are more
I know more about
like
the other two than Troll Dolls. I
Funko
didn't know
Pops
there
is
was
more
a craze.
comparable
I
than
thought they
the
were just
Beanie
ugly
Babies.
things that people owned.
yeah, like the difference is like the Labubu is a design. It is a design of a kind of character, this sort of monster with teeth things. And Sega wanted to, near as I could tell, wanted to get in on it, but did not want to actually get in on it, so they made something that sounds like Labubu in its name, but
Yeah.
isn't actually in its design in any meaningful way. They just made teddy
Yeah.
bears. They
Yeah.
just made teddy bears that
They
look like
call them
Sonic
Sega
characters, or
Labbies, and
Sega
they're on
characters.
and they're for sale at their Sega stores in Tokyo and Shanghai. And there's a Sonic, a Joker, and a Yakuza. And
Specifically, I believe that's Kiryu.
I forgot which one that was. Okay, yeah, Kiryu.
Kiryu has the white suit with the red shirt. That's his more iconic look.
But yeah, so it's like and I guess our own Dread decided to say Labubu's in the title just for clickbait.
Probably. I don't know. It's like Sega's like the name of it. Sega's absolutely courting. Like it's not
Yeah.
even subtle. They're clearly trying to court the collectability aspect of it, whether valid or not. I think it's kind of I think it's kind of cynical, but like I don't know. Sega's kind of a cynical company at times, so I don't know.
Um,
I don't need them. They look
yeah,
fine,
I
but they
don't.
just look like teddy bears. So like,
At least
what do I
like how they
care?
look more than Labubu's, but eh.
Sure, I guess.
Shigs, do you want the Sonic Labubu?
No. I'm someone who's against
Okay.
those particular teddy bears. I forget the name of them right now. They sell like Walt Disney World and Disney Japan. That's become the most more popular than Mickey Mouse over there now. God, I forget its name right now.
So, moving on to more sobering news, IDW's Shadow One Shot has officially been canceled. It was originally supposed to come out in like March of earlier this year. Then it got delayed, and like the delays seemed to indicate that it was like coming March 2026. But the writer said that it probably wasn't going to take that long. But
I feel like we reported on at least 2 distinct delay events.
yes, I'm fairly certain that there were 2 delay events, but so I guess that's what makes it a little less surprising. But the writer Kyle Fegley confirmed on Blue Sky that it was canceled, and the interior artist Mauro Fonseca elaborated on Twitter that it had been canceled for a while, um, and that we may still see the character designs from that because those were approved from Sega, but the writing never was. So according to Fedley, um, as I understand it, while we were waiting for final approvals, some folks on the Sega team left the company, and it was decided that the book just didn't fit the schedule and workflow of the line. Which it's a Shadow One Shot. Come on, there's never a bad time to release something like that. But I guess Sega disagreed. Or IDW. It's honestly kind of unsure like which side ultimately
Well,
decided
I
to
mean, you
cancel
would
it.
want you would have wanted this to be released closer to like the actual Year of Shadow,
Yeah,
which we are firmly out of at
and the
this
Sonic
point.
3 movie.
But I don't know.
Although we're still getting like Shadow Generation stuff, like hitting the games now. Like
I
Sonic Rumble and Sonic Dash and Forces are all getting stuff from that game.
Like, I'm not sitting here saying that I need anything Shadow related. Like, this is not a story that I was particularly excited for, but you are accurate in saying, like, you could do that literally any time and it would be perfectly fine. People love their Shadow, and you can just put that out at any point and be like, hey, it's a Shadow thing. Go check out the Shadow thing. Is like, sure.
But for me, it's just like, this sounded like one of the more interesting one shots because the plot sounded a little bit like Resident Evil 4, where like there's like this weird village that Shadow has to investigate that's like being taken over by these plants or something. So like, felt vaguely horror themed, which is not something we get a whole lot of in this comic. Like we I guess you could maybe say Scrapnik Island and some aspects of Metal Virus. Um,
A bit.
but it would also have been like our first solo Shadow comic since the Archie days, which like
They had
admittedly,
to cancel.
Sorry.
They had to cancel it out of fear that he might become a character.
Honestly, that's probably what killed it. Like, I expect it was probably just the Sega noting this thing to death, and when they finally had something, it was just too late at that point. Because that's the story we've been hearing more than once, is that they are very strict around Shadow, and that is one reason why he can be kind of one of the weaker characters. Although he has had his moments in more recent issues, although I would not include the most recent one, which we'll get to soon.
Jet is a better defined character in Year of Our Lord 2025 than
Yes.
Shadow is.
It's ridiculous.
Hell,
the movie.
That's the most telling thing.
Does a way better job
sorry.
at defining Shadow than any of the games or the
Well, the
comic
movie
series
kind
have,
of just
really.
gives us a different Shadow who's like less of an edgelord.
But also, like, how telling is that I would rather read a Silver comic book. I would rather read a Jet comic book. Characters that I have historically thought are absolute trash as defined by the games, than I would like to read than anything that they've done with Shadow thus far. Just because it feels like they are patently allergic to making Shadow any sort of defined, interesting character.
So,
like
one thing that we did learn recently is that Izuka has final say on everything, and Shadow is kind of like Izuka's baby. It is like Sonic Adventure 2, I think, was like his first major Sonic game that he directed and stuff. If I'm remembering correctly.
Then let him be a
And
character.
part of me wonders if this is just all Izuka, not being very strict about the character.
I don't know. I stand by what I have said before. They have done such a bad job of letting him be a character. Shadow can be an interesting character. The concepts surrounding him can be made interesting, but you have to let him engage with other characters. You have to let him have a bit of range. Otherwise, he's not a character. He's just an aesthetic.
Yeah.
He's just an
I
aesthetic.
will say that, Sonic Prime and the later issues of IDW have managed to kind of find that, in my opinion.
At times, sure.
But I do believe that the latest issue of IDW has kind of lost that again.
It's just infuriating whenever you get to something like Sonic X Shadow Generations, where they made the game about him, and any sort of characterization that they sort of were going for is just really sanded down. Just really sanded down. The emotional moments in that game do not hit because Shadow's such a nothing character.
So, Shakes, you have anything else to add to that?
Not really. I mean, you're printing money with Shadow, and he can't even get that out because that's how overly protective they are. It's insane.
Well, I do think that's probably just because they have some weird marketing reason for why they wouldn't let it come out after it got delayed so much.
That's the thing with Shadow; he pretty much exists for marketing.
But I don't know. It's silly. The marketing is silly. So moving on to our final news item. We got more Sonic DCX Sonic. We have seemingly, this has not been officially confirmed yet. Like, technically anyone could make this art. But we do appear to have gotten some leaks for more DCX Sonic characters.
Yeah,
including
gotta put it in the rumor pile.
Yep. Including Starfire Blaze, Batwoman Rouge, Aquaman Big Cat.
Was it Rouge or was it Catwoman?
Catwoman Rouge.
Yeah. So it was Rouge as Catwoman. Aquaman Big and Lex Luthor Eggman.
Aquaman Big is just.
I guess they both is the best choice,
just in very different ways.
I mean,
it is the best choice.
I mean, until they finally give us like a proper swimming Sonic character, like he is the closest we have. But we also got what appears to be like some sort of new glowing variant of Batman Shadow. So like this looks to me like
looks like a classic classic 60s and 70s Batman Shadow.
Yeah, so where it's like it's blue.
And Eggman with the Lex Luthor armor.
Yeah, I mentioned
that. Oh, I want Adam West Shadow. I know what like we could never have that, but I desperately want 60s style. I want a comic where Shadow is written as the Adam West version of Batman.
And what he calls
with the big.
He calls Maria old chum.
Who? So okay. Do we have Charbaby Robin? Is that how we go with it?
Oh God, given how Shadow feels about Charmy, that would be amazing.
Just in that 60s style with the big goofy props and the ridiculous plots and trying to paint over the Joker's facial hair with makeup.
Yeah, that would be fun. But
But it's
And,
not going to be nearly as fun as our idea for this.
No.
Blaze makes now that I've thought of, I was originally thinking of Fire for Blaze, but Starfire makes a lot more sense. You got the person from another world, both have kind of fire powers, although Starfire's more like energy, both dressed in purple. The only difference is Blaze is not like adults with Starfire in certain aspects, let's say.
I don't even think that that's the most defined or most known version of Starfire at this point. I think Teen Titans has
and Teen Titans
largely
Go.
taken over the. Yeah. In terms
So,
of
yeah,
like,
not-
hey, how is this character recognized?
You don't see free-loving Starfire as much, basically.
Like, I think out of all of the female fire characters, like Starfire is easily the most well known. Like, no one wants to see Fire as Blaze, which Fire is literally this character's name. I only know about her thanks to Justice League
Yeah,
Unlimited.
plus she's green for the most part.
Yes.
Well, as night, like I've got to phrase this properly. I would approve of Hawk Girl Blaze.
Yeah,
that could
work.
That would be pretty good. Although I guess you would probably, I don't know, I guess the alternative
Hawk
would
Girl
be Wave,
6.
but that doesn't make sense to me.
Wave can't even fly without her extreme gear, so.
Or you have no. You have Hawk Girl Surge. That's where you go with it.
Yeah, sure, why not? But if this is true, like we could be getting that continuation sooner than we might expect. Like I could see us get like we probably be getting it like next year. I guess they did technically say that the continuation crossover would continue into 2026.
Yeah,
So,
we have DC crossed with Godzilla versus Kong versus DC going on its second year now. So having a second DC X Sonic
wait,
just makes
Godzilla
sense.
is in both DC and Marvel right now?
Yeah, Godzilla
Damn.
versus Kong versus Justice League, and the Godzilla destroys the Marvel universe, both going on at the same time.
That's weird. But I do have to say, I do enjoy these matchups.
Obviously,
like
Toho has a less strict license with Godzilla than they do than
Rouge and
Sega does with
Catwoman
Sonic.
was probably the most obvious one.
Obvious choice, yes.
I don't know why Eggman would dress up as Lex Luthor though. Like that he seems. I feel like he'd have too much of an ego for that.
I'm sure it's like a
armor.
tech thing. Is like the tech has suit, the suit has tech or something like that. I don't know.
I guess. Does that mean we have an Eggman who can fight Superman? That'd be weird.
I would hope. I honestly I think a better obviously it was a bad villain choice. It was a I'm just gonna say it was a bad villain choice for that first thing.
Yes.
I would say that like a villain choice that would make more sense in a context like this would probably be something like a Brainiac. Like a Brainiac is something that you could have. Like I say that because I'm basically in my head recreating Worlds Unite. Because that's basically what I'm describing, am I not? If I'm saying Brainiac is there, and also
you basically want Sigma to come back.
I mean, I'm certainly describing something like that. I'm not saying that because I think Worlds Unite is good. I am saying that because it makes sense as a thing.
Yeah. I will say that I do feel like Lex Luthor would do a lot to just kind of give the story more breathing room than Darkseid ever could, and the fact that they have now introduced everything and so we don't have to spend a whole issue on getting all the readers caught up on who everyone is. The story
also Lex Luthor is a much more interesting villain than
and Lex Luthor and Eggman teaming up would make the give both casts of characters more more of a stake in the villainy going on. Since it wouldn't just be a one-sided DC thing. So I certainly do think that they could make a better story with that. So Fingers crossed, I guess. I expect that if we're probably going to get an announcement in the next couple of months. I doubt they'll be waiting too long.
Yeah, probably at the beginning
I
of the year. Once
I
Christmas and
just
everything is
hope.
over.
Yeah, I just hope for a better book. Like,
Yeah, like I didn't like hate it as much as you did, but I didn't. It just was just a very generic crossover as
I
with all
didn't
the same.
hate it. I was bored. Like, I just thought it was boring.
It would have
I
made
found it
I
mildly
think it still makes
entertaining.
a better graphic novel than a 5-part series. I'm just waiting for each issue to come out because some issues have ended up being better than the other. Where as a graphic novel, you'd at least have sections that are good, sections that slow down.
Or you
Yeah.
just split it up a little bit smarter. Like, I just think that it was not split up correctly in a way that actually focused on, the character interactions, which are what make
Yeah.
this kind of thing interesting.
Yeah. But so one thing, we did not get any Sonic Central this year, which that's the first time that has happened since I think 2021.
There's still time.
Nah, if
time.
we're getting a Sonic Central,
There's still
it would have been this month.
It's happening during the Game Awards. It's just this giant 30-minute video in the middle of the Game
I'd
Awards
say
where
it's
they
possible to
introduce
have
the next.
a new game announcement during the Game Awards. But
I expect that we'll get a tease at the Game Awards with like a name, and that'll be it. And then
I think that happened twice in a row, didn't it? When we got a tease during the Game Awards.
yeah, like that seems to be the modus operandi for Sega's marketing now. But I think that we could get a
Have fun
proper
watching it.
like Sonic Central in the first quarter of 2026, like maybe as early as
You're not gonna have to
January.
watch it. You could just there'll be a trailer seconds after it's announced.
I mean, like a Sonic Central that will be announcing the big anniversary projects, which
No, I don't
you
think
know,
we can do
if they're going to like make this properly a
not
throughout the year
during the
thing.
Game Awards.
What?
So not during around the same
Not
time
during
as
the Game Awards,
Awards.
no. I mean like in January or February.
January or February, that's possible.
Because where they like give us a
year
rundown
seems
of
to have a
everything that's
theme
coming for the
now.
anniversary, including a DC X Sonic crossover announcement. Like I can see that happening. So, unless anyone has anything else to add, we'll be moving on to our final thing.
Yeah, it's
So-
wrapping up pretty quick this time.
Well, yeah, this is what happens when we do episodes this frequently. Like, we have precious little news for once over the course of most of Thanksgiving week. So, Sonic 82, the second part of the Lunar arc, I guess. That so that was fine. Compared to the first part
cute.
where we got some neat world building and stuff and this mysterious new character introduced, I did not find myself nearly as engaged with this one. I feel like these stories need more time to breathe because it had like we got introduced to Soliel, who is Lunar's alter ego, and we got introduced to Soliel's entire family, and it all feels very shallow.
Kind of rushed.
Yes.
Especially
And,
since
like-
the family's begging for forgiveness after years of verbal abuse to the point where the kid developed a split personality.
Yes, like that, like a very bad thing happened to this child thanks to his parents, and then that all gets resolved the
Yeah, it's
moment it
resolved
is
way too
basically
quickly.
explained to them that, oh, we are putting our child into emotional distress by expecting perfection from everything they do. Okay, sorry, child. So
I like how they have this. He's part of this Sonic fan club where they just post, pictures of Sonic through social media.
yes,
because
I
he's hard
did
to
love
he's hard
the-
to find, and a lot of them are blurry because he's always moving.
yeah.
I thought that was
I
cute.
did love the introduction of the Sonic Spotters Club. That was cool. I hope they do more with that idea. And I enjoy the designs for all of these circus performers. And I also do kind of just like the fact that, oh hey, look, we have a breeding pair in the Sonic franchise canonically. Oh my god. Vanilla is no longer the only adult. um but I don't know. But beyond that, like then Shadow arrives and he's just Shadow arrives at the very end of the comic after like briefly like leaving Rouge to have her croissant because she was hungry and he was too serious business to stop and take a break, of course. Um, and I don't know, it's like Shadow was pretty interesting. Had some pretty cool character moments. When he and Rouge had teamed up with Sonic and the Chaotix. But here he just kind of seems like a dour, boring
He's just
guy.
being a jackass again and
Yes.
attacking a little kid after he just had this whole thing with his parents finally resolved.
Like it feels out of place. Like
Oh,
you
for
know, like
Shadow to attack a child? No.
no, it feels out of place for Shadow himself
That's his
feels out
favorite
of place.
target.
It's like, you know, okay, like that we had this whole issue focused on this kid Soleil, introducing him and dealing with his family issues. And then Shadow just comes out of nowhere to take the Chaos Emerald. Um and it just kind of felt like an interruption. I don't know. Um but it does at the very least like give Soleil's parents a chance to, I guess, help him. Which I suppose, if given that they've just turned over a new leaf, that's helpful towards that end, and so they get to fight Shadow. But then Rouge steals the Chaos Emerald, and then Eggman appears out of nowhere, and I forgot Eggman was coming. Like.
Oh, they show him in the end of every issue. It's been the last
Yeah, this feels like something that really needed an additional issue or two to flesh everything out, because the interesting city itself is just gone now. Like we spend the entire issue in this rundown industrial area. Um and like I said, like Soleil, he gets introduced and has everything resolved over the space of like 20 pages. So there's just no like satisfying character beats here, which is kind of what you need for someone like them. So like I don't know, ultimately it was fine, and now it seems like we're rushing into Eggman doing his big climactic attack at the end for the final issue. But yeah, I don't know. At this point, I'm just looking forward to Sag showing up. Kind of the first IDW story I felt like this in a little while, which is both a little surprising and kind of disappointing because the writing has been better for a little while now. Shix, you have anything else?
Yeah. No, he pretty much nailed what I was thinking about it myself. The main character is cute and everything, and I like that part of the story all right, but it's everything was a little too rushed to its conclusion.
Like whenever I'm reading
everything was resolved way too easily.
Whenever
And
I'm reading
kinda
these
bothered me.
solicitations, I'm always just imagining a bigger story than what we get. Like I figure, like, oh yeah, they'll continue the mystery of this, or they'll develop this more, and then they don't, because it's only 3 issues. But in any case, that's all I have to say. So, Shigs, you have any final thoughts?
No, I just already said my piece on that one.
All right. So I guess that's it for us tonight. We should be back in a couple of weeks after the Game Awards. Where I don't know, we'll discuss more Sonic stuff, I guess. We'll talk about
We'll discuss the teaser that I'm mad at that they show there
yes.
for a game that they don't announce.
So is this our final one till after Christmas?
No, the Game Awards is on the 12th, so like I don't know. I'm assuming something for like mid-December somewhere.
All right.
Probably around the 17th or like 2 weeks would be the 10th. 3 weeks would be the 17th.
All right.
So somewhere in that realm, I imagine.
Okay. Um. All right. So, um, yeah.
Hey, our opinions are our own, but the show broadly is under the banner of Sonic Stadium over at sonicstadium.org, one of the internet's longest running Sonic fan communities. You can find forums, you can find news coverage, you can find a Discord. Just go check it out. There's so much going on. We just had an article go up today from
Phelan Hearts.
yeah, that's who I'm thinking of. I don't know why I was thinking of another person who is not there. Covering the Tangle Whisper and Emerl additions to Sonic Rumble. We always appreciate it, whether you are watching on Twitch or you are watching on YouTube, to give us a follow or subscribe or whatever you feel is right. It just lets you know, hey, we got new stuff coming out. It's always good to know. And with that, peace.
See ya.
See you next time.